Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. This is the King County Transportation Committee for Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. I'm Drew Fraz, Chair of the committee. We'll do a roll call, please. Call to order.
Iqbal? Iqbal?
Iqbal present.
Berman?
Berman here.
Kenyon?
Here.
Caius?
Kai's present.
Skopi?
Sophie's here.
Winnicki?
Present.
Martin?
Martin present.
Pirog?
Recording in progress.
Shepro?
Shepro present.
Braz.
Is here. We have a full house. Thank you. Could I have a motion and a second to approve our minutes from February 15th, 2022 and April 19th, 2022? Caius moves.
Winnicki seconds.
Winnicki seconds. Is there any comments or questions or changes? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Berman?
Berman, yes.
Iqbal?
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon?
Yes.
Caius?
Kai's, yes.
Skopi?
Sophie, yes.
Winnicki? Martin?
Martin, yes.
Braz.
Raz, yes. Public comment. Is there anybody present or online who would like to make a comment to the committee? I have nobody signed up. Okay, we'll move on to the finance report. So I'm going to turn it over to Kathy Hopkinson.
You should have in your packets the monthly finance committee reports. I will draw your attention to the chart depicting motor fuel tax, local option motor fuel tax, and RTA sales taxes. And you will see that for the last 2 years, we do not have a clear trend. Of particular note is the local option motor fuel tax, which is still below levels prior to COVID. Also wanted to update the committee on the vehicle lease program. I think you can advance a few slides. That's our trend. The KDOT vehicle lease program, which has been in operation for the last few years to date, during this remarkable environment for used vehicles, KDOT has netted approximately $436,000 in proceeds. This program continues to perform within the parameters that were set, and we continue to monitor all aspects of price incentives, fees, and sale prices. Anyone have any questions?
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Are we able to acquire the vehicles?
We can, if we choose to exit the program, we can
Oh, no,
acquire
I
the
don't mean
vehicles.
that. I mean,
Jen, would you use your mic, please?
I can't turn around. My question is, I think it was the sheriff that said that fleet contracts are being terminated by the manufacturers. Are we having trouble actually leasing, getting the vehicles to
Acquiring.
lease?
In fact, we're placing our orders next week. The manufacturers are limiting the amount of vehicles that they're making, but we have not had any trouble so far getting any vehicles.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. The Force Reserve is just taking delivery of some of the first of their units that were based on the pilot program that KDOT put through. So
First
Yeah.
three, I think. we
first
got.
three
No
are
problem.
in. So maybe the pickups are so common that they're not as hard to get as the police special cars that the sheriff was talking about. Any other questions for Kathy? Okay, thank you. If not, we'll move. So Kathy, or who's going to handle? Kathy, you're going to handle maintenance report?
We're going to do the budget.
Oh, I'm sorry.
presentation
I
first.
was
Yes.
you're on B then.
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is the proposed fiscal 2023 KDOT budget. The formation of the budget is driven by our guiding principles of public safety, which is maintaining and preserving King County's systems of roads, bridges, traffic signals, providing essential public services, including snow plowing, traffic operations, and permitting, and effectively leveraging local county funds to obtain federal, state, and other funds, and supporting economic development initiatives. The proposed 2023 budget is $112 million. On the revenue side, the highlights, motor fuel taxes are up over last year's budget as more people are out and about driving again. The local option motor fuel tax, however, as mentioned previously on the trend slide, continues to be sluggish in its recovery. The increase in transportation sales tax budget is driven by our actual 2021 transportation sales tax revenues, which were $16 million. Impact fees have surged over the last year above expectation with actual revenues of $3.5 million in 2021, which is driving our forecast for our 2023 budget. Toll revenue is forecast down for 2023 to coincide with the expected opening of the toll bridge in late 2023. Cash on hand, of the $63 million in cash on hand, which funds our 2023 budget, more than half of that 47 million comes from our motor fuel tax and transportation sales tax dollars. On the expense side, pavement maintenance is up as we have some ADA improvements in next year's maintenance contracts on some of our resurfacing routes. Our personnel costs include KDOT's recent organizational restructure, but this 2023 draft does not yet include any salary increases for either non-union staff or union staff. It does not yet also include any updated health and dental insurance amounts. KDOT's contract with our maintenance staff expires. It was a 4-year contract. It expires this October 31st. Traffic operations have a budgeted increase due to a planned street lighting retrofit, which will be occurring from 2023 to 2025. We will be working with our electrical maintenance contractor to replace high-pressure sodium light bulbs with LED lights. The maintenance expenses include KDOT share of the county's liability insurance, which is up over last year, as well as some computer hardware. Rock salt. Our rock salt is budgeted as the same as last year. We do not yet have any quotes yet on salt prices. This past winter, we did do some of our own mixing of salt to make treated salt, and we're continuing to explore how to do this in the most efficient way. Building and equipment includes budgeted increases for fuel, of course, vehicle parts, and the expected replacement of several plow trucks. 1.2 million is actually budgeted for truck replacements. Capital projects, I have them listed out there by various categories: bicycle, pedestrian, bridge, intersection safety, new roadway, traffic safety. Those projected budgets are all driven by our 5-year transportation improvement plan. Debt service. The reduction for the 2023 budget is due to the projected 17.5 million that we hope to be receiving from the state. This 17.5 million can take us through about June of 2032 in terms of payment of principal and interest. This year, we had to restrict some of our sales tax revenue to pay the first payment on the principal and interest for the debt. Next slide, please. Again, some highlights. KDOT, as usual, has a capital project-driven budget. 74% of our budgets are capital projects. Longmeadow, the largest piece of that right now with 31 million. Also in our budget, we always have to include final payments on completed projects. So about 11 million of what's in our 2023 budget are payments on projects that we have completed over the last several years for which IDOT has not yet submitted us a final bill. Revenues overall highlights our grants have decreased because the Rebuild Illinois program ended. We should be receiving our 6th and final payments this month. Motor fuel taxes, we're looking to see, we have budgeted an increase for next year, but the state did freeze the motor fuel taxes for the remainder of this year. So we'll be monitoring that. And I think most of the other items on the expenses I've spoken about already. So next slide. So things distinct about KDOT's budgeting is the nature of our capital projects is that they are multi-year and have several phases. Also important is that the budget presented here today includes only the county or local share of the budget. Many of our projects include federal and or state funding where the state of Illinois pays contractors directly on the construction phase of our contracts. Slide. KDOT has 6 special revenue funding sources and 13 capital projects funds, some of which have usage or geographical restrictions on how the funds can be spent. Motor fuel taxes, both the states and the local option motor fuel tax are generally geared towards, and we slot our maintenance efforts in those funds, such as pavement maintenance, traffic signal maintenance, salt, supplies. Sales tax revenue is generally used for our capital projects. Next slide. Our 2023 budget calls for 92 projects. This chart shows both the county's local share costs along with federal and state reimbursements coming directly to the county and federal and state contributions, which IDOT pays directly to contractors. So if you look in that column that says, it's towards the right, it says IDOT share construction costs. Those are dollars that IDOT pays directly to contractors, which don't flow through the county's budget, but which we track. Next slide. The next few slides are a listing of all of our projects, which you've previously seen as part of our 5-year TIP. So we have 32 new roadway lane projects. The red asterisk indicates that it's a new project this year. The double asterisk indicates it's a budgeted final payment to IDOT. We have 14 intersection safety projects, 30 bridge and structural projects, 8 traffic safety and interconnect projects. And many of these projects, I would point out, just to go back on the traffic safety and interconnect projects. If you look, a lot of these projects, you'll see HSIP, which is the Federal Highway Safety Improvement Program. So we typically receive federal dollars on a lot of our traffic safety and interconnect projects. We have 4 bicycle and pedestrian improvement projects, including a plan update, which we'll be talking about in a second. And our maintenance and roads, we have $11 million budgeted for pavement maintenance, resurfacing, pavement marking, crack sealing projects this year with over 750 miles of roadway to maintain. And our bridges, we have annual bridge inspections. The county is responsible for 141 structures, including township structures as well. And finally, we just, I think at last month's Transportation Committee meeting, we released our 5-year TIP, and we will be working, it's a continuous process. We will be releasing our next 5-year TIP in February of 2023. So that is an overview of the 2023 budget. Does anyone have any questions?
John Martin?
The 11 million final payment, is that all owed to the state of Illinois?
Yes.
And is that routine? I mean, are these projects actually not finished, or is that just?
It's very routine historically where
Okay.
the state is involved and participates with us on a project where they let the project, by the time all the paperwork is reconciled and trued up, it takes them a few years to send us a final bill,
And
even
then,
though the road is open.
and then the second is, have we ever quantified the amount of savings by converting to the LED lighting?
Well, we haven't, the LED retrofit is planned. It's driven by a lot, it's mainly driven by public safety issues in terms of the brightness and the lumens of the light that shines on our public roadways. So it's something that we've been looking at for several years.
Okay.
Um,
All right, thank you.
Any other questions on the budget, Mr. Caius?
Yeah, Kathy, this Caius, on the Long Meadow B1 and Randall to Whitechapel, I know it's listed here as a project, but it's pretty much done, isn't it?
It's
I mean,
done. It's a project where we have to continue to roll forward a budgeted amount to pay IDOT.
Oh, that's part of that. What you were saying.
Yes.
It's okay,
Yes.
sure. Okay,
Other
Thank you.
questions for Kathy on the budget? Okay, we'll see none. Thank you very much. And we'll move on to item 5A. This is a resolution approving Adopt a Highway Program applicant. Could I have a motion and a second?
Caius move.
Moved by Caius, second
Berman,
by
second.
Berman. Kathy?
This Adopt a Highway resolution includes one new applicant and one renewal. Staff is recommending approval.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Kobe,
Kopey, yes.
Winnicki,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Bras.
Raz, yes.
Pass.
5B, maintenance report, Kathy?
Bill and his team are beginning their summer mowing and roadway repair activities with 3 crews conducting mowing over a 5 to 6 week period in the spring and then later in the fall with a focus on high priority locations. If anyone has any other questions, Bill is here today.
Okay, any questions for Bill or Kathy on the maintenance report? Seeing none. Item 6, planning and programming report. We're going to turn this to Jackie.
Yeah, I'm going to start out on this and I'm actually going to go a little out of order. I wanted to give you an update on our Ride and Cane program. Today in the audience, if they want to go ahead, and come forward, we have Janet Harris, who is our new Ride and Cane coordinator, who started on April 25th. So she will be taking over the duties from Crystal Spracklin, who you may remember is our Ride and Cane coordinator, but she will be leaving us at the end of this month. Her last day is May 31st. So they have been busy working together since April 25th, doing a lot of training, transition, getting Janet up to speed on the program. And we wanted to bring them here, especially Crystal, to publicly thank her for all of her hard work on getting us up and running as administrator of the Ride and Cane program, taking it over from AID. She has spent countless hours working with PACE and the RTA, coordinating things, and her knowledge of the program that she brought with her here has been invaluable to us. So we wanted to make sure that you were aware of the hard work she has done and really has brought this program to fruition for us.
Okay, well, thank you. So welcome aboard, Janet, and thank you, Crystal, for all your hard work. And we saw all that paperwork go through this committee, and I know it all ended up on your desk. So thank you very much.
I think the foundation's laid, so I think it's going to work out really well.
Okay. Well, great. Thanks again, and welcome aboard. And then, did you have anything else under planning and programming?
Yeah, the planning and programming report is in your packet for your review. Of note is the May-June edition of the Kane Kendall Council of Mayors newsletter, which you should have a copy on the desk in front of you, which is published by Jackie Forbes and her team.
Okay. So then our item 5B, we have a resolution approving an agreement with Epstein and Sons International. This is for our bicycle and pedestrian plan update. So I need a motion and a second for that resolution.
Caius move.
Moved by Caius, second by Winnicki. Back to Kathy.
So the Kane County Bicycle and Pedestrian Plan was last updated about 10 years ago. Staff utilized the QBS process to select Epstein Inc. to conduct this update. A contract was negotiated for $212,309. And I should point out that our team was successful in obtaining federal and state reimbursement for this project with federal dollars of $160,000 and a state match of $40,000, which would be $200,000 in federal and state dollars that are going to go towards this $212,000 contract.
Great.
So staff recommends approval.
Questions or comments?
Just
Mr. Caius?
Just a comment. I think this is great. I'm very excited to see the progress on the bicycle. And now if I can just stay able enough to ride a bicycle in my old age, I'll be able to use some of this by the time it's in. But good job. Good for our generations to come.
Great, thank you. Other comments or questions? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Hopi,
Opie, yes.
Oniki,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Braz.
Raz, yes. Item 6C, another resolution. This is approving an agreement for regional planning liaison services. KDOT provides services for the Council of Mayors and CMAP, and they reimburse us for our time. Need a motion and a second? By Kenyon, second by.
Caius,
Caius.
second.
Let's see, discussion or Kathy?
Yeah, KDOT's planning and programming staff have strategic partnerships with the Kane-Kendall Council of Mayors and the Chicagoland Metropolitan Agency for Planning. The primary staff for the Kane-Kendall Council of Mayors are in fact KDOT's planning team. CMAP provides funding to support these planning efforts, which includes program development, liaison services, and monitoring of over $12 million in STP and CMAC funds annually. This contract with CMAP provides $185,000 in federal funds with a local match of $46,000 to support these planning activities. Staff recommends approval.
Okay, any questions? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Hopi,
Opie, yes.
Oniki,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Braz.
Raz, yes. Item 7, permitting report.
The permitting report from our Chief of Permitting, Kurt Nika, is included in your packet, which highlights a list of ongoing access permit projects that are in review stage.
So
If
if
anyone has any questions on that, I can facilitate getting an answer.
you have any questions, either now or you can get back to staff on if you have questions on an individual project. Okay, item 7B, discussion Randall Road at Elft Lane intersection improvement, cost participation, IGA.
Right, this item is for discussion purposes only today, and we will be submitting a final draft after receiving any feedback from today's meeting. So the city of Elgin has requested that the county participate financially in interim intersection improvements to Randall Road at Elft Lane. The intersection currently experiences significant traffic congestion and extreme queuing on Elft Lane. This project will address this heavy movement from Elft to I-90 by adding a second left turn lane on Elft, which will move vehicles more efficiently onto Randall, and also adding a third northbound lane, through lane on Randall, which will help traffic onto the I-90 on-ramp. This intersection is included in the study area for KDOT's own Randall Road over I-90 project. The estimate that the city of Elgin is working with to date has an estimated cost participation of $404,000 being provided by Kane County to cover engineering, construction, and construction engineering costs. So we are looking for feedback today.
Okay, and this is, those numbers are only for engineering essentially. It's not, there's no construction involved in there other than oversight.
I think this is just, well, this is just an estimate of the different cost participations to date.
It does include construction.
Okay.
It does, yeah, that's what I thought.
Any questions or comments? I know that's a very, very busy intersection up there. And it looks like we're set number 2 out of the 3 participants. So Elgin's bearing the brunt of the cost. Mr. Kais?
Yeah, Caius, just to comment, to say that that is something that I avoid right now. And so I think it's well worth investigating and participating in whatever can, as long as Elgin agrees to change the name of the road from whatever that name is, Elft, to something like Jones.
I
or
thought it was an
something we can
acronym when I
pronounce,
saw
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh, was he? Oh, my apologies then to the mayor.
Like,
School teacher, so you don't want to,
That was
don't fight with the teacher.
BC before Chris.
other comments or questions? If not, I'd say the committee gives you consensus to move forward.
Thank you.
Okay, and item number 8, traffic operations report.
So the traffic operations report is in your packet, provided from our Chief of Traffic Operations, Steven Zolkowski. If you have any questions, let me know and I can facilitate getting an answer.
Okay, is there any questions? Okay, we'll move on to item number 9. We're going to switch over to Jen O'Connell. 9A, project implementation report.
Good morning. The only thing I want to highlight from the project implementation report this morning is that the 2 toll-related gantries and the roadside building have been installed for the Long Meadow Parkway Section C4 project this past month. And the rest of the report is in your packet, and we can move on to photos unless there are any questions.
Okay, Mr. Caius?
No, I think last month, maybe Steve mentioned that the building had to go in first and then the gantries. So I saw the gantries were up. Is the building in?
Building went in. yes.
Okay.
So that's what they told us all along,
Uh-huh.
but they did something different. So, that's means and methods of
So-
a general contractor.
And they put the gantries in the building then?
Right.
Okay. All right.
Was it a precast building or?
It
It was
is.
Yeah,
pre-done, yeah.
It's a typical building that the tollway commonly uses. So
Okay, other questions or comments? Okay, if not, we'll move on to item 9B, our first resolution.
Let's do the photos first, if you don't
Oh,
mind.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah,
do the
thanks.
photos.
This photo shows completion of curb and gutter on the Long Meadow Parkway project. Next slide. This photo is showing some pavement work, and we put it up today just to serve as a reminder to all of us to pay extra attention and take great care in our work zones as we approach the construction season this summer.
Okay. Item 9B, a resolution. This is approving an amendment to an IGA with the state of Illinois. Phase 3 construction, Orchard Road and Route 30. Could I have a motion in a second? Moved by
Caius?
Caius, second by
Wonicky.
Wonicky. Thank you. Back to Jen.
Our first resolution this morning, like Drew just said, is an amended IGA with the state to accommodate additional CMAQ funding that was secured by our planning section for the construction of Orchard Road at US 30 intersection improvement. This additional funding further reduces our county share of the construction funding. Staff recommends approval.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Kopey,
Yes.
Wonicky,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Bros.
Raz, yes. Item C, a resolution approving phase 2 engineering services. This is for the Bunker Road extension. Motion in a second, moved by
Berman.
Berman, second by Caius.
Caius.
Wait, is everybody awake?
Back to Jen.
In 2014, we began engineering design for the Bunker Road Extension project. And in 2016, the project moved into the land acquisition phase. Over the subsequent 6 years, while we were acquiring the necessary land for this project, bridge design criteria has changed, rainfall data has been updated, and we've learned lessons from the other 2 roundabouts that we've implemented on our county system. Also, during those 6 years, the engineering design consultant experienced significant staff turnover. So as land acquisition nears completion, staff felt it was in our best interest to consider a different engineering firm to update the engineering design and bring the plans to their final state. Staff completed a consultant selection process with Trans Systems and recommends a contract for $420,749.
Hello, this is Mavis.
Okay, questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Yes.
Kopey,
Kopey, yes.
Wonicky,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Bros.
Raz, yes. I'll take items D and E together. These are 2 routine approvals of contracts for construction for township road projects. First one being Big Rock Township and the second one being Hampshire Township. Motion in a second, please.
Kenyon move.
Mr. Kenyon moves.
Kaya second.
Kaya seconds. Thank you. Jen?
I'll just note that the Big Rock Township contract includes 3 different townships that had similar scopes of work. They combined their smaller quantities for bituminous service treatment into one contract, and Big Rock did act as the lead agency. We opened that bid at 9 o'clock this morning. The bid looks, the bid price looks really good. It's currently being vetted, and we'll fill in that dollar amount before executive session. But we really wanted to bring it to committee today so that we could complete that work this summer.
Okay, so we'll see the full information at exec and then full county board. Any additional questions or comments? A roll call, please, and this is for both D and E.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Kaya, yes.
Gopi,
Yes.
Winnicki,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Braz.
Raz, yes. Next item is a resolution approving a contract for construction with Martam Construction. This is for the Stearns Road embankment restoration project. Need a motion and a second?
And it would move.
Can you
Herman seconds.
moves? Well, Nikki seconds. Jen?
On April 19th, 4 bids were opened for the project to restore embankment along the east side of the AMP site. It's located east of Illinois Route 25 at Stearns Road. Flooding and a beaver dam have caused the riverbank to blow out and flood our mitigation pond at this site, and this work will repair and armor the embankment. Staff recommends approval with a contract with Martam Construction, our lowest bidder, at $473,521 and change.
Okay. And this isn't this one where we approved a construction access agreement recently?
That's
with
right.
The gun club, maybe? Questions or comments? Mr. Kenyon?
Well, I drive Stearns Road a lot, and I also drive the Redgate Road. We do a better job at the county with our barriers. Theirs are already deteriorating. It looks really junky. St. Charles should fix their bridge up, but ours is not. And it's a much older bridge too. I'm talking about the
The railing?
metal. You buy cheap metal, guess what you have?
Yeah.
Cheap paint, cheap paint.
Geneva's always had trouble on the State Street Bridge with the salt and the metal railings.
Well, we have the salt too, but ours weather much better.
Other comments or questions? If not, roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Kaya, yes.
Gopi,
Kopi, yes.
Winnicki,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Braz.
Yes. Item G, a resolution approving a contract for construction. This is with AC Pavement Striping. And this is for our 2022 striping program. Need a motion and a second.
Kaya, move.
Moved by Caius, second by
Winnicki.
Winnicki. Jen?
Our staff recommends approval of a contract with AC Pavement to stripe various sections of roadway, including portions of Kirk, Randall, Orchard, and Silver Glen for our annual urethane pavement marking maintenance for $400,368.50.
I think we've worked with this company many times over the years. Questions or comments? None, roll call.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Kaya, yes.
Gopi,
Kopi, yes.
Winnicki,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Braz.
As yes. Item H, a resolution approving a contract for construction with Martam Construction. This is for the Bliss Main Fabian intersection improvement project. Motion is second. Martin moves. Kenyon seconds. Ken?
I'm very excited to announce that on May 10th, KDOT opened 4 bids to construct the Bliss Main Fabian, or as I like to call it, the BMF intersection and realignment and roundabout project. Staff recommends approval of the contract with Martam Construction, our lowest bidder at $11,899,395.65.
How close were we to estimate?
27% under.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good news.
Yes, we were thrilled. I was thrilled.
And Jen's been the lead person on that project, so she's very excited.
I've been
about it.
working on that project since I started at KDOT 8 years ago.
8 years. Okay.
It felt good.
16 at that time. Okay,
43
so
miles
roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Soapy,
Yes.
Winnicki,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Braz.
Raz, yes.
Pass.
Finally, resolution I, approving the acquisition of highway right-of-way. This is for the Doberman Road extension as negotiated by Mr. Jager. Motion and a second. Moved by
And then
Mr.
moves.
Kenyon moves,
Caius, second.
Caius seconds. Jen?
In this final resolution, staff presents the acquisition of parcel 1N20003 for highway right-of-way to construct the Doberman Road extension. This parcel was discussed at last month's Transportation Committee, and we discussed a cap of $115,000. Property owner won't come down from that. Staff recommends approval for the purchase of the parcel at $115,000.
Okay, questions or comments? Roll call?
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Soapy,
Soapy, yes.
Winnicki,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Braz.
Raz, yes. And item 10, can I have a motion and a second to place our various reports on file?
Caius, move.
Caius
Berman,
moves,
second.
Berman seconds. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Soapy,
Soapy, yes.
Winnicki,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Braz.
Raz, yes.
Pass.
Under new business, I'll just mention that Tom Rickert is on his way back from Australia having flight problems, but he was actually one of two people chosen by the, is it the Illinois Public Works Association, something along those lines. But he was one of two people chosen to go to Australia to give some presentations, hear some presentations, and look over transportation issues. So
Very cool.
it'll be fun to, we'll make him give us a report when he's back next month. Public comment on non-agenda items. Is there anybody who'd like to comment on non-agenda items? Ms. Wodnicki?
Yeah, I have a question, and I don't know if this is the right time to talk about it, but there's been a huge, huge increase in transfer station trucks. They're on Route 38, they're on Route 64. There's probably 50 of them that by the time they go towards, they're going east and then they go west. There's probably 50 trips a day. I've also seen them on Burlington Road, and it's some kind of something new this year. I've never really quite seen them before going through all those areas. So I don't know where they're coming from. I'm thinking they probably don't belong on Burlington Road. And being at the meetings for the 8,000 gallon gas spill at 47 and 64, I talked to the IDOT representative, and he was going to check into it a little bit to see if they could reroute some of them, or I think the biggest density of them are on Route 64, and they fly through Wasco. They don't slow down. They don't, the speed is slower there. It's like 30 miles an hour. So I don't know if anybody knows any history of that, or where they're coming from, or why now it's kind of a, people are noticing, I guess.
So these are the large 18-wheeler trash haulers.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, I don't know if there's something, if they're going out to DeKalb landfill or points beyond, but
Yeah,
the problem with asking them to go off of county highways is they're gonna end up on,
on the
if they go off
state
state highways,
highways.
they're gonna end up on county highways.
Yeah,
There's no upper level other than the tollway.
yeah.
So that would be hard to do,
Yeah,
'cause most state highways have that 80,000 pound maximum.
Well, a lot of people ask me why now, why all of a sudden we have all these trucks that are flying through, going east and then going back west to go to, I don't know if they're going to Rockford or
Yeah, I-
Rochelle.
Oregon, isn't there one at Oregon too?
I don't know.
Oh, that might be.
That would
they're
be
going
that would be the
west.
way to Oregon if there is one out there.
So, yeah, so I don't know where I could find more information from IDOT, I suppose. Steve? No.
You have to follow them.
What's that?
Yeah.
Follow 'em.
You-
Actually, I know somebody who followed them.
Close.
Yeah,
But like I said, the state highway system is meant for truck traffic, so it's hard to tell them not to go there because they're gonna end up on our roads then,
Yeah.
taking shortcuts with lots of turns and stopping
well,
and starting.
Yeah, and this is kind of a little, it's a little bit what Madam Chair has talked about with the increase in truck traffic. And I can definitely state that this is very recent. This is probably like the last year. So I don't know if they've been rerouted from somewhere else and are now cutting through Kane County and
Yeah. If it still opens, or if an existing one changes their policy or lowers their price, it can,
Do they appear to be stopping in Kane County or just passing through?
they're passing through.
They're always loaded.
They're picking up a load and then going west with the load.
Are these like trailers or are these like gravel trucks and things?
No, they're enormous semis and they are covered on the top, but they are enormous semis and they're traveling very quickly, even through town.
well, since King County doesn't have a landfill, our two landfills closed.
Yeah,
Everything has to be hauled out from our transfer
About 3
stations
loads a day.
to landfills,
They work
so
very hard.
yeah, I understand that, but I just think we need to notice if they're picking up from DuPage County and maybe taking it out to wherever the dump site is, Rockford or Ottawa or wherever it might be. I think we should take notice of that and because it's hard. It's if they're taking county roads, it's speeding up our roads as well. So
Okay, any other comment from the committee or from the public?
Opie, please.
Hold on, Mr. Copey, Caius first.
Yeah, just this is Caius very quickly. American Public Works Association declares National Public Works Week this week. And so I'd like to offer our gratitude to those that are doing public works and getting us around the county as expeditiously as possible.
Thank you.
good team. Mhm.
Mr. Copey, go ahead.
I'd just like to voice my concern in regards to the Galligan Road corridor and to keep a progressive track on that. And hopefully we can keep some improvements soon.
Understand.
And then also on a broader scale, the comparatively speaking, the Route 72 corridor and the Route 47 corridor is probably in the identical condition where it's down to 2 lanes and it's pretty much maxed out. We have traffic backing up for an hour, both morning and night. So hopefully that can come to fruition in a day and alleviate some of the truck traffic that's going to be generating from the UPS and the Amazon and so on and so forth, and urban sprawl. So thank you for your indulgence.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Copey. I know Madam Chairman has had some meetings with residents up on Galligan and has met with Tom Rickert and myself about that issue. So it's kind of ongoing. Thanks for your comments. Any other comments or questions?
Yes, one more thing.
Mr. Copey? Go ahead.
On that note, if there is going to be some activity in that in regards to constituency and political issues in the district that I serve, I would be happy to attend, and I would accept the invitation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's all we have for today. I'll take a motion in a second.
Kenyon moves to adjourn.
Kenyon moves to adjourn.
Caius second.
Caius seconds. Roll call.
Yeah.
Voice
Oh,
voice
yeah.
vote, all in
Yes.
favor?